From the moment her violin bow first touched the strings on the streets of Santa Monica, Karolina Protsenko captured hearts around the world. With her angelic smile and breathtaking talent, she became a global sensation, racking up millions of views on YouTube and performing for crowds who couldn't get enough of her music. But behind the viral videos and the fairy tale image of a child prodigy lies a story that few truly know. Today, we reveal what really happened to Karolina Protsenko, the triumphs, the struggles, and the truth behind her meteoric rise to fame. Karolina Protsenko's story begins in Ukraine, where she was born on October 3, 2008, into a family that already had a deep appreciation for music. Her parents, Ihor and Ella, were both musicians. Her father played the guitar, and her mother played the piano. Music was woven into the fabric of their daily lives, and for Karolina, it was not just entertainment, but a way of expressing emotion and connecting with the world around her. From her earliest days, she was surrounded by melodies, rhythms, and harmonies that would shape her future in profound ways. In 2014, when Karolina was just 6 years old, her family made a life-changing decision to move to the United States. Like many immigrants, they came seeking opportunity and a better future for their children. They settled in California, a place where dreams and talent could find a stage. But the move was not easy. Adjusting to a new culture, learning English, and starting over in a foreign land brought challenges. Still, her family's belief in the power of music anchored them during those early years. It didn't take long for Karolina to show signs of extraordinary talent. Inspired by the sounds of the violin, she began lessons at the age of 6. Unlike many children who might reluctantly practice their instrument, Karolina embraced the violin with passion. She wasn't just learning notes, she was pouring her soul into the strings. Her parents quickly recognized that their daughter wasn't just talented, she was something special. By the age of 8, Karolina was already performing at small community events, her golden hair and radiant smile captivating audiences as much as her music did. Her natural ability to connect with people was undeniable. Listeners didn't just hear her violin, they felt it. Whether she played classical pieces or modern pop covers, her performances carried an emotional weight far beyond her years. Her parents played a crucial role in nurturing her gift. They sacrificed time, energy, and money to ensure Karolina had opportunities to grow. They recorded her performances, helped her manage social media accounts, and encouraged her to share her music with the world. At first, it was simply about spreading joy. No one could have predicted just how far those videos would travel. In 2018, Karolina's life changed forever. She began busking on the streets of Santa Monica, California, a bold move for a young girl. Armed with her violin, she stood on sidewalks performing for strangers passing by. Videos of her performances, often recorded by her parents or fans, were uploaded to YouTube and Facebook. What happened next was nothing short of remarkable. Her performances went viral, amassing millions of views. People from around the globe were mesmerized by this young violinist who played with the skill of a professional and the heart of a storyteller. Audiences were drawn not only to her technical talent, but also to her presence. Karolina performed with joy, her smile as infectious as her music. She wasn't simply a child playing an instrument. She was an artist commanding attention in a way that even seasoned professionals struggled to achieve. Her popularity grew rapidly, and within a year, she had built a massive online following. But beneath this success lay the truth of a little girl who was still just that, a child. While the world saw a prodigy, Karolina was balancing school, friendships, and the ordinary challenges of growing up. Yet even at such a young age, her story was already proving to be one of sacrifice, resilience, and extraordinary talent. Her early years laid the foundation for everything that would follow: the street performances, the viral fame, and the pressures of becoming a global sensation before even reaching her teenage years. When Karolina Protsenko first set foot on the busy sidewalks of Santa Monica, violin in hand, no one could have predicted how her life was about to change. At just 9 years old, she wasn't performing in grand concert halls or lavish theaters. Instead, she stood on street corners, surrounded by curious onlookers, her case open for donations, and her heart pouring into every note she played. The streets became her stage, and the world, quite unexpectedly, became her audience. Videos of her performances began circulating online in 2018. Her covers of popular songs, like Ed Sheeran's Perfect and Luis Fonsi's Despacito, struck a chord, with audiences far beyond California. People were amazed not only by her technical skills, but by her ability to transform familiar songs into emotional masterpieces through the violin. She wasn't simply imitating melodies, she was reimagining them, adding her own flair, soul, and artistry. Before long, her street performances had millions of views across YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. What made Karolina stand out from other young performers was her authenticity. She didn't rely on gimmicks or flashy distractions. Instead, her performances felt raw, joyful, and deeply moving. Audiences who stumbled upon her videos often commented on how her music made them smile, brought them to tears, or lifted their spirits during difficult times. In an era dominated by auto-tuned pop stars and heavily produced content, Karolina's pure sound and radiant personality offered something refreshing and real. Her rise to fame was meteoric. Within a few months, her subscriber count on YouTube skyrocketed. Fans from around the globe tuned in regularly to see what she would play next. The streets of Santa Monica transformed into an international stage, with tourists often stopping not just to listen, but to capture and share her magic online. She became one of those rare viral stars whose fame wasn't fleeting. Instead, her audience kept growing and her influence deepened. Of course, such sudden attention brought its own set of challenges. Karolina's parents, Ihor and Ella, stepped in as managers, helping her navigate this unexpected spotlight. They carefully balanced her school life with her music career, ensuring she wasn't overwhelmed by the pressures of fame. They also became guardians of her online presence, monitoring comments, protecting her from negativity, and keeping her grounded in the midst of soaring popularity. Brands and television shows began taking notice too. Offers to appear on Talent, competitions and interviews started pouring in, but the Protsenko family made deliberate choices. They wanted to protect her innocence and passion for music rather than turning her into a commercial product too quickly. Their goal was clear: allow Karolina's artistry to shine naturally without forcing her into the often harsh machine of the entertainment industry. Her fan base grew not only because of her music, but also because of her story. Many saw in her the embodiment of the immigrant dream, a young girl who had come to a foreign land with her family, armed with nothing but talent and determination, and managed to capture the hearts of millions. People connected with her on a personal level. She wasn't a distant celebrity. She was relatable, approachable, and inspiring. Karolina's performances also carried a deeper symbolism. On the surface, she was just a young violinist playing for tips. But to those who watched her online, she represented something larger: the power of art to transcend boundaries of language, culture, and geography. Her music spoke to people in ways words could not, reminding them of the beauty and simplicity of human connection. By the time she was 10, Karolina had transitioned from a street performer into a global sensation. Her YouTube channels amassed millions of subscribers, and her videos were being shared by fans, media outlets, and even celebrities. She was no longer just a girl with a violin. She was an international star whose every performance was eagerly awaited. Yet with all this success, one question began to loom. How would Karolina, still a child, navigate the pressures of fame, the expectations of fans, and the demands of growing up in the public eye? The answer to that question would define the next stage of her journey. Behind the angelic smile and flawless performances, Karolina Protsenko's journey was not without its difficulties. Fame may look dazzling on the outside, but for a child still learning who she was, it came with challenges that most adults would find overwhelming. At first, performing in front of strangers on the streets felt liberating. Karolina loved the joy on people's faces as they watched her play. But when her videos began drawing millions of views, a different kind of pressure emerged. Suddenly, her performances weren't just for passers-by, they were for an international audience, with every note, every gesture, and even her appearance open to public scrutiny. The internet can be both a gift and a curse. For every fan who left a heartfelt comment about how her music had changed their day, there were others who offered criticism, sometimes cruel or dismissive. Some questioned whether her talent was authentic, while others criticized her family for allowing her to perform in public at such a young age. These comments, though often drowned out by positivity, still found their way into her world. For a young girl, processing both admiration and criticism on such a scale was no easy task. Balancing childhood with her growing fame also became increasingly complicated. While other children spent weekends at birthday parties or school events, Karolina often spent hers rehearsing, recording, or performing. Though she loved music, there were moments when the weight of responsibility felt heavy. Her parents, however, were determined to shield her from burnout. They set boundaries, ensuring she still had time for school, friends, and family activities. To them, protecting her childhood was just as important as nurturing her talent. Yet even with her family's support, Karolina faced the unique loneliness that can come with fame. Being in the public eye at such a young age made it difficult to fully relate to peers. While classmates might talk about sports or cartoons, Karolina's life revolved around managing a YouTube channel, preparing for performances, and interacting with fans. The difference in lifestyle sometimes created a quiet sense of isolation. There was also the challenge of being labeled a prodigy. On the one hand, it was an honor to be recognized for her incredible skills. On the other, it created an expectation that she had to keep impressing audiences, always delivering perfection. Mistakes, whether on stage or in recordings, felt magnified. The fear of disappointing her fans weighed heavily, even though she was still only a child learning her craft. Her parents played a critical role during this time, constantly reminding her that music was about expression, not perfection. They encouraged her to embrace mistakes as part of the learning process. They reminded her that the violin was not a burden, but a gift, something she could use to share love and joy with the world. Despite the challenges, Karolina's spirit remained resilient. She channeled the pressures of fame into her performances, pouring emotion into her music that belied her age. Audiences often remarked how her renditions carried a depth and maturity unusual for someone so young. In a way, the struggles of fame gave her performances an authenticity that touched even more hearts. Her story highlights an often overlooked reality. Fame, especially at a young age, is not all glitz and glamour. It demands sacrifice, resilience, and an ability to withstand pressures most children never face. Karolina's journey through these trials is a testament not just to her talent, but to her strength and the unwavering support of her family. As she continued to grow, one thing became clear. Karolina Protsenko was not just surviving fame. She was learning how to shape it into something meaningful, something lasting. And that resilience would set the stage for her future, both as a musician and as a young woman finding her voice in the world. Today, Karolina Protsenko is no longer just the little girl playing the violin on Santa Monica's bustling sidewalks. She has grown into a young artist with a global following, one who continues to inspire millions with her music while also stepping into her own identity. Her YouTube channels now boast millions of subscribers, with her videos reaching hundreds of millions of views collectively. Fans from every corner of the globe still tune in to hear her heartfelt renditions of pop hits, classical pieces, and original compositions. What sets Karolina apart today is how she has managed to stay true to herself despite the fame. Many stars burn out or fade away, but Karolina's career has matured alongside her. She has used her platform not only to showcase her music, but also to share glimpses of her personal journey. From practicing at home with her family to collaborating with other musicians, she continues to let fans into her world in a way that feels authentic and relatable. In recent years, Karolina has begun performing beyond the streets of Santa Monica, taking her talent to larger stages and special events. She has appeared on television, collaborated with other artists, and released albums that showcase her evolving style. Yet, even with these achievements, she often returns to her roots, performing outdoors where people can stumble upon her music by chance. For her, the magic has always been about connecting with strangers through sound, creating unforgettable moments of shared emotion. Her journey has also taken on a deeper meaning as she grows older. Karolina now speaks about her passion for spreading positivity through her music. She believes that in a world often filled with negativity, division, and hardship, music can be a powerful force for healing and unity. This philosophy has shaped not only her performances, but also the way she interacts with her audience. Fans often describe her as not just talented, but kind, humble, and wise beyond her years. At the same time, she faces the ongoing challenge of balancing a public career with a private life. Like any teenager, she has school, friendships, and personal dreams beyond her music. The difference is that she navigates all of this under the watchful eyes of millions. But unlike many young celebrities, Karolina seems to have found a healthy balance, thanks to her supportive family and her grounded approach to fame. Looking ahead, Karolina has big aspirations. She has expressed interest in continuing her music education, composing original works, and perhaps even branching out into new artistic avenues. While she has already achieved what many musicians only dream of, she views her journey as just beginning. Her fans, too, eagerly anticipate what's next, whether it's new recordings, tours, or original projects. But beyond the technical achievements, what truly matters is the impact she has had. For countless fans, Karolina's story is not just about music. It's about resilience, hope, and the power of following one's passion. She has become a symbol of what can happen when talent is nurtured with love, hard work, and authenticity. In a digital age where viral fame often comes and goes in the blink of an eye, Karolina Protsenko has managed to carve out something enduring. As she continues her journey, one thing is certain. Karolina is far more than a viral sensation. She is a young artist whose music transcends borders and whose story reminds us all of the beauty of perseverance and passion. From the sidewalks of Santa Monica to the world stage, her journey is still unfolding, and the best may be yet to come.